Hi, welcome to episode 83 of the PassionKnit Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. There's a Ravelry group for this podcast. Please come over and join. And thank you so much for being here. I have a bit of stuff to talk about. I think it's going to be a shorter one this week, but that's okay. Good. So what I'm wearing, no hand knits. It's still summer. It's still warm. So it's too warm for hand knit stuff. But I finished something. Knitting in the past. It's just a small thing, but it is finished. I finished the socks for my son that I showed you last week. I did run out of yarn right around here. So I did the toe in a different stripy yarn. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. And he already loves his socks. He's a very knit-worthy little boy. And when I finished them, he immediately wanted to put them on. I said, no, you can't have them. I have to weave in the ends, and I want to show them on the podcast. So you have to wait. Then he went to bed. Next morning, he went into the reading room, got the socks, brought them to me and said, Tim, socks? I said, yeah, these are your socks, but I still have to weave in the ends. You cannot have them. So he left and came back with my notions pouch with, all the stuff that I need to weave in the ends, gave it to me and looked at me like, get going. Do it. I want my socks. So yeah, he now can have his socks. I think he's going to be very happy about that. The yarn, I think, was from Boutinette. I know it looks like a Patton's Croy. It's definitely not a Patton's Croy. That is the only thing I know for sure. But yeah, they are done. And they fit. So that's a good thing. That's the only thing I finished. But for knitting in the present, I have 2 sweaters on the needles right now. The first one is in the Interpretations book number 4, and it's this sweater. It's the cover sweater. It's called Double Trouble. It's a design by Vera. And here are some more pictures. The front of the cardigan has a different color than the back. And I am using my hand spun for it, which is a good thing because, I have a lot of hand spun. It's also a bad thing because I ran out and there's no way that I can reproduce this. So yeah, I worked on the back. This is 500 grams of yarn and I spun this up super thick. It was when I was still a very newbie spinner. It was one of the first sweater quantities that I spun, and I spun the 2 that I'm using back to back, which is why they are so similar in weight. And yeah, this is the back of the sweater. It has a bit of a weird shape right now because it's like very wide and not that long. But I'm going to block this severely. And the sleeves are about 14 centimeters shorter than they should be. It's like almost 6 inches. So, but when I hold it like this, hold it up to my shoulder, I can easily pull it down to my arm. Or to my wrist. So I think I'm going to be okay. So yeah, that is the back of my sweater. And I did, let me think about this. I cast on a size 38, which is the size that I need. But I'm using 5.5 millimeter needles. That's a US 9 because my yarn is very thick in comparison to what you should use. Like, look at this. This is really bulky stuff. So I'm ending up, instead of a 38, I think I'm getting a 42, which is good because I wanted this to not be a cardigan, but more like a jacket. And yeah, I think it's going to be very nice. It's going to be super warm, super snuggly, and just squishy because it's hand spun. So yeah, that's the back. The back is done. It's a very quick knit because, 5.5 millimeter needles, garter stitch, so finished. And then for the fronts, I have this silver gray solid color. It's also my hand spun. It's also very thick. I think it's going to be perfect for the pairing with the other yarn. And I'm going to do it like she did. I'm going to do the buttons coordinating with the back of the sweater. So I'm going to get some reddy brownish orange yellowish buttons to put on. yeah, I'm very excited about this. I'm gonna cast on for the front or for one of the fronts today, I think. I hope. We will see. Now, that's the Double Trouble. Now, all the specs. It's the Double Trouble cardigan by Verival Mackey. It's published in Interpretations Volume 4, but you can also get it as a single download on Ravelry. I'm using my own hand spun, and I'm knitting on a US 9. That's a 5.5mm needle, and I'm using my Clover interchangeables. And I did use Clover straights for the sleeves because, you know, there are not that many stitches, and that's just easier for me to do it on short straights. Now, the other thing I'm working on right now is something you have not seen. I started this the day after I last podcasted. It is the Hoodie Shawl Cardigan by Susanne Sommer, or Susanne Sommer, because she's a German. And this is it. This is the cardigan I'm working on. Yeah, you get the idea. So I started this, like I said, the day after my last podcast, and I've knit quite a bit on it. I'm using Drops Alpaca in 3 different colors. These are my colors. I think they are perfect. This here is a very dark egg blend purple. So I am working on the body right now, and it looks like this. I finished the initial shawl triangle. Then I did all the short rows to get this orange part to be at the same height, length, whatever. So yeah, this is my cardigan so far. It looks very weird right now because, you know, the needle, it's very bunched up, and so yeah, here it is. This is the back of it. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm going to change one thing. The pattern calls for 3 colors, which is what I have. And according to pattern, the only part where the orange comes in is the main body. There's no orange in the rest of the cardigan. And I'm going to change it and do the sleeves, or the main sleeves, in orange as well. That's the only thing I'm going to change. I'm knitting the size 38 because that's what I have. And yeah, Drops Alpaca. It's going to be super light because, you know, this is basically a fingering weight. Although everywhere you look it says sport weight, but this is fingering weight to me. And yeah, alpaca is just very warm. So this is going to be very light but very warm, and I look so much forward to having it. I had a weekend off, so my husband and my son were with my in-laws, and I was sitting down and watching stuff I'm going to talk about later. I started knitting the orange yesterday. I added in the orange yesterday. I was done with the stripes and I started with the orange yesterday. So you can see I did a lot of knitting on this yesterday. I knit a full ball of this, and what's missing from this one here. I can barely put it down. It's very addictive because it changes all the time. Knitting on Caspian's 3.5mm needles. That's a US 4, and it's what the pattern calls for. So yeah, this is going to be amazing. Can't wait to have it done. Now we'll go in here. The project bag is from my friend Martina. She made it for me, and I'm very much in love with it. And it holds everything that I need for my sweater right now. So there we go. Good. That's it for knitting in the present. For knitting in the future, I have a basket next to me, and I have written down all the sweaters because that's what I want to do. I'm in a sweater mood right now. Now here's my basket. And I'm going to talk you through everything. Because if I don't, I'm going to be done now because, you know, I don't have anything else to talk about. What I did have to do, basically, I wanted to start sweaters that are not fingering weight. And in my basket, except for one thing, everything is fingering weight. So I had to order more 3.5mm needle tips because I just do not have enough. I have 3 set in here, but I need 5. I have 1 in use on this sweater, I have 2 more in use on other sweaters. It seems to be the new go-to needle size. So what can I get out of here first? I'm gonna get 1 skein of this. Okay, I bought, Hohi Locatelli did have a 20% off sale, and I bought the Magnolia cardigan because I almost own I own almost all of her patterns, but I did not have this one. So I got this one, Magnolia cardigan. And I am going to use this yarn from Creatina Bloom. 3 of my 4 skeins look like this, and the 4th is a bit different. So I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to make that blend in, but I'm going to try. So this is the first thing I want to cast on. Magnolia cardigan out of this. Then I still have plans for, shit. Okay, out of Malabrigo sock in the Archangel colorway, I'm going to knit another Hohi pattern, and it's the Granito. I talked about this before. I still want to knit it because I still haven't started. And there's a 3rd Hohi pattern that's called Window to My Soul. It's a short sleeve cardigan. And I'm going to knit this out of yarn from my friend Barbara. Her shop is called Almrausch Wolle. I'm going to link all of those in the Ravelry group when I'm done. I have 3 skeins. I hope it's going to be enough. So these are the Hohi patterns, and she's going to do a fall cowl, and I'm not sure if I missed the deadline to sign up because you have to sign up for it, but I don't care. I'm just going to knit these and be happy about it. Then last week I showed you 2 skeins of pure silk that I got from my friend to review. I am going to knit a short sleeve cardigan based on a pattern for the Persuading Chain, but without the cable on the back. But that's going to happen. So far, all of these use 3.5mm needles. And now the 2 things where I have to get everything out. Well, not really. I'm going to start the staccato hoodie out of my handspun. I showed these to you like two episodes ago. 7 different skeins, all in pinkish purple. This is one of them. That's going to go on the needles. And the last thing, it's the one thing I'm very excited about right now. And I really have to get all of the skeins out because otherwise it doesn't make sense. I am going to start the Laneway dress tunic. I think it's called a tunic. For me, it looks more like a dress. It's by Vera Välimäki. It is in Interpretations Book 1. I have to get all of the things I don't need off the table because this is just going to drive me crazy. Okay, now all the needles back. My plan thingy. So, good. Basket is done. The Laneway tunic is in this book. I think it's the last pattern. I hope it is. Is it? Yes. It looks like this. She, as you can see, uses 2 colors and does some striping. I want to make it maybe 5 centimeters longer. And I'm going to fade it because, you know, I just want to use yarn that I already own and I do not want to buy stuff. So this is the way to go. Now I'm absolutely sure about the first 4 of these. The last 2, I'm not so sure. I chose the last 2 because I have 2 skeins of that. So I could have the last stripe be as big as the other ones. Because, you know, the last one is going to use up way more yarn. But let's get started. So here's the first one. All of these are from Ätherische Öle and they are all on her tweed base. So that would be color 1, the one that I'm starting on the neck with. Oh, come on. Then color 2. You see? I think these go great together as colors 1 and 2. Then color 3 would be this one here. color 4. Now, as you can see, I think these 4 blend into each other perfectly. But my color 5, because I need 5 skeins, I'm pretty sure, because, you know, it's a dress. This would be my color 5. And I'm just not sure about it. So, what do you think? First 4 are great, and then does this work? I just don't know. I'm not sure. But, you know, I figured I have 2 of the last one because I kind of wanted to do a shawl with it. So I got 2 when she had them in her shop. But I think it's going to be okay because I really want this to blend in. And I also want to be able to do the last section of the tunic that's with the biggest circumference as wide as I can do the smaller circumference pieces. So yeah, I'm not sure if this color is going well with the other ones. I might have to check. I mean, I did look at all of the things that I have, and I didn't have anyone that fit better from her. But I do have other tweed-based yarns that I could look at and maybe find a skein that goes better with it. I don't know. But yeah, this is the plan. I'm going to do a laneway tunic dress thing in a fade. Because fading is the cool thing to do right now. Everyone is popping out patterns for fading. And I'm going to use patterns that I already have. Good. So this is what I have planned for knitting in the future. You know, I want to knit all the sweaters. I can't wait to start them. And I still really want to get started on some thicker things, you know, that they get finished sooner. But I also know that the fingering weight sweaters are going to get worn a lot more. So it's going to be worth it in the end, I'm sure. Now, I do not have spinning. Didn't spin. I have something for new stuff. A former colleague of mine asked me if I wanted to check out a little shop with her the other day. And I said, yeah, sure, I'm going to come with you. And yeah. I am not the tidiest person on the planet. Not at all. But this shop, wow, it shocked me. It really did. I'm never going to go back there again. It's like, it was so cramped that I could barely walk in there. Yeah, it was horrible. But I got these 2 skeins. It's Regia sock yarn. I'm going to make socks for my son. These are 25-gram skeins. They're my first Regia line. And they are designed for kids, you know, because that's why they are only 25 grams. Because for very, very small socks, like baby socks, you use only 1 of these. But my baby is a bit bigger, so I got 2. And that's all I got. And I wanted to get out of there as soon as I could because it was absolutely awful. So yeah, that's it for new stuff. I do not have an indie of the week. For reading, listening, watching, like I said before, I had a free weekend. And I decided that I wanted to do some comfort watching. So I watched Teen Wolf season 5 again, like for the 3rd, 4th time. I don't remember. And I watched the whole season, 20 episodes, you know. And then I decided to finally watch season 6A. Because season 6B is airing in the US right now, and it's going to be done, I think, at the end of September. It's going to be done, because that's the last episode of Teen Wolf. It's done then. And season 6A has been on Amazon for a few months now. And I just didn't want to watch it because I don't want it to end. But I finally sat down, I watched the 10 episodes, and they were absolutely amazing. I just love Teen Wolf. I love it so much. And yeah, that's what I did on my weekend. I watched Teen Wolf and I knit a back. I finished a back and knit a whole lot on a different sweater. So it was amazing. I absolutely enjoyed it. And like in 2 hours or so, my husband and my son are going to be back home. And I'm really looking forward to having them back. So, but it was a good weekend. Every now and then, this is a good thing. So, sewing. I have a few things. Not that spectacular this week, you know, just small stuff. I finished a top for myself, and it looks like this. It has this waterfall neckline, and looks like this from the front. The back is just plain black. Looks like this. This top I made with my friend, the Stitchionista. She has the same thing. Hers is yellow, and the straps are fancy. And we started this on a day where Gizmo had his accident. And after that, I didn't want to touch it because I wasn't sure if he would survive it. And I didn't want to touch it until I knew that he was better. And he is way better now. So I finally sat down to finish it. And yeah, I quite like it. It did turn out great, I think. The fabric that I used for the front, it was a very small piece of leftover fabric that I got from a fabric shop. So what we did is we did not lay the pattern piece on the grain, but you know, exactly on a 90-degree angle, cross grain, not cross, but like, you know. But as this is a jersey, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because this stretches in every direction. And I was able to use up that piece of fabric and make something beautiful with it, and I'm very happy about it. So yeah, here we go. Finished top. The only thing I should have done, I should have made the straps shorter because this is very open. I have to wear a very tight fitting like a cami top under it because it's very, I cannot. If I do this, you see to my feet. So apart from that, I really like it. The pattern is from Buddha Style, and I have it here because I'm prepared. No, it's not this one, it's the other one. No, where is it? I'll see how prepared I am. There it is. This is the original. And it is the German version of Buddha Style magazine, issue 7, 2013. It looks like this. So that's the first thing. And then I did sit down and I made a bunch of shorts for my child because I had them already cut months ago, really months ago. This is the pattern. It's another Buddha Style, this one here. They do not show it on a child, so it's issue number 6, 2014. Looks like this. And I have made this before. Maybe you remember my wrongly cut pirate pants that I had to double up with denim, and it's the same pattern, but this time I managed to cut everything correctly. So I have 2 of the Minion shorts. They're shorts. They have a not a drawstring, a elasticated waist, because everything else is just not. That's the easiest thing to do. So yeah, I have 2 of those. My husband bought this fabric when he was in the US the last time, and he bought it specifically for Tim, of course, because, you know, I wouldn't wear that. Then I used this one here. Just, yeah, I know. White is maybe not the best idea for a pair of shorts, but I had the fabric and I had to use it for something else that I have to make. And these space pants. I love this fabric. It was a small leftover that I got in the fabric shop, and it was enough to cut the pants and I think the outside of a hat, where this is going to be the inside. So this is why I had this one. So yeah, I made 4 pairs of shorts. They are going to fit this and next summer for sure. So they are done. And that is it for sewing. I have started something, and it's right behind me on my chair. I'm just gonna grab a piece of fabric. I am working on a new skirt because I discovered that I really like wearing skirts, and I think they suit me quite good. And I am using this fabric. that I got from Spoonflower, and it is all Harry Potter. I'm super excited about this skirt. I'm going to add in a pocket. As you can see, these are pocket pieces. That does not, no, that is not called for in the pattern, but I totally want a pocket in this, because when you sew stuff yourself, why would you ever sew a skirt without a pocket? It doesn't make sense. And I'm going to show you. This is it. The pattern is in the German version of Simplicity magazine. That is basically just a gathering of single patterns. And this specific pattern is New Look number 6191. And I'm doing this version here. So yeah, that is what I'm working on right now. I have to. If you have the magazine, it's this one. Simplicity, Meine Nähmode, issue 3, 2014. And yeah, I look forward to this. I hope it will turn out the way I want it, because I want to be able to do like circle skirt-ish skirts out of 2 yards of the small width fabric, and that should work. The only thing I had to cut from a different fabric was the facing of the waistband. But you know, it's the facing, you know, when we'll see it, so I don't care. And that's it for sewing, and that's it for the podcast. I don't have cross stitch, don't have weaving, and I don't have anything for everything else. So I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go upstairs and possibly knit a bit more on my alpaca cardigan. I hope you all have a wonderful time. I will talk to you again in well, roughly 10 days. And until then, enjoy everything you do. Bye.